that brings us to the end of the My Own Tour de France 2026 challenge. 30 minutes done, day 23, 11.9, let's make it 12 kilometers, not a bad way to end.
So it's been 2 weeks since I completed the Mount Tour de France 2026 challenge, and what a rewarding experience that was. All of that training definitely has paid off, which is evident in my power numbers that have increased across multiple time frames, according to my watch. But yeah, the challenge definitely wasn't easy. It wasn't a walk in the park. I think riding 30 minutes a day for 23 days itself isn't difficult, but when I signed up, it asked me to select a personal goal, which was a percentage of the total kilometers that the pros were going to ride. So this year they did 3,342 kilometers. I said I'm going to do 10% of that. So I should have done about 334 kilometers, which equates to about 16 kilometers a day. And that's where the difficulty comes in. To do 16 kilometers a day for 23 days as an amateur is really not easy. But I knew this from the start. So my strategy was to do more kilometers in the beginning, to go harder in the start, because inevitably over time, fatigue was going to creep in, legs were going to hurt, and then also just to prepare for any unseen technicalities that might occur. So I started off by doing between 20 and 23 kilometers daily, which was about 4 to 7 kilometers more than the daily target. And it was actually a smart thing to do, because towards the end of the challenge, I picked up a cold. So it became quite difficult to cycle for 30 minutes every day, but I did succeed in the end. And I'm just going to switch to the actual tracking. So because I had done extra kilometers in the start, by the time I got to the 17th day, I'm just going to switch to the actual numbers here. On this 17th day, I had done 98 kilometers more than the target, which meant that because obviously the kilometers carry over to the end, on the last day, I was already 2 kilometers ahead of my goal. So that meant that these last 6 days, every kilometer I did was just extra balance over the target that I'd set for myself. So in the end, this was my performance. So I was on track for the shirt. I did 417 total kilometers. The pros had done 3,342. Therefore, I had done 12% of what the pros have done, which is 2% better than my personal goal. And then 81 kilometers ahead of my goal. So definitely enjoyable. I think also what made it easy is at the time I was reading the Atomic Habits book. If you haven't read it, I'll just summarize it in the 4 main points, which is in the book. If you want to build a good habit, it's make it easy, make it obvious, make it attractive, and make it satisfying. So to make it easy, I just kept the bike on the trainer. Usually I would, pack the bike away every time I was done with the training ride, and then, every time I wanted to ride, take the bike out, put it back on the trainer, put the mat out. That's obviously time consuming. So just having the bike on the trainer for all 23 days made that easy. Making it obvious, because the bike was on the trainer in the way, every time I came upstairs, I saw it. So there was no opportunity to forget that I was part of the challenge. Make it attractive. I guess the challenge did that for us. So obviously completing it at the end, you get the finisher's t-shirt, which is an exclusive thing, exclusive club to be part of. So that made it attractive. And then make it satisfying. Cycling in itself is satisfying. There's no better feeling than after a ride, sweating, out of breath, when endorphins are flowing. Nothing beats that feeling. So definitely worth it. And now we're just going to do some admin together on their website. let's just go back in here. So if I go back to the home, back into the website, so if I go to the journey, so after week 1 there was a voucher that unlocked. After week 2 there was another voucher, and then the last step after completing the challenge is the finisher t-shirt. So let's just go into this. It's loaded everything. So the first voucher is a 50% off Marvel accessories capped at 200, so that expires in 11 days. At least I can buy something for 400 and get it for 200. Free wash and lube, so that is just taking the bike and they'll wash it and re-lube the chain and the gear set. But this is the best part of it, the Mount with the front finisher t-shirt. So let's just click down here, C0158BD6. Okay, let's go shop now. This is what we've come for. Okay, I think there's other things here for sale: drinks, tubes, tires. Okay, so we are interested in a finisher t-shirt. Let's click on that. Oh, that's what it looks like. Sleek, black. I accepted the challenge. That's what we'll be getting. Choose your payment plan. Okay, waiting on top some supplier. Delivery will be delayed. I had a feeling that was going to happen. I didn't think that they were going to be able to forecast how many t-shirts they needed. So that's unfortunate, but let's just go large there. One quantity. There will be a delay in shipping. You're waiting for drops from the supplier. The store will contact you to come collect when your order is ready. Please don't come before that. Thanks for your patience. You did it every single stage. While most people watched from the couch you rode, every day the peloton rolled out of a start village in France, you clipped in and put in the work, 30 minutes, day after day, all the way to the final stage. Riders like you are exactly why we built my own Tour de France, and you have earned every thread of what comes next. Your finisher's t-shirt is on the way. Wait on your next ride, wait to the coffee shop, wait on rest days just because you can. Anyone who asks gets the full story, because completing a 21-stage challenge alongside the greatest cyclists on the planet is absolutely worth talking about. See you at the start line next year. Okay, let's add that to cart. Apply, let's see. The voucher applied successfully. So order total 0. Taken off that 500 from there. Check out now. And that's it. Congratulations, your order has been placed successfully, and continue shopping. So unfortunately I can't get the t-shirt yet. I'll have to wait for them to confirm when they have it in stock. But that's the end of this segment of the video. Hopefully when it cuts back in, I'll be collecting the t-shirt. I finally received the email to say the shirt is ready for collection. So quickly pop our cycle lab now and pick it up. Some kind of renovations happening here. Okay, I've got the package.